Well, I think, starting with Connor, now he's really ingrained in the profession. Had a great opportunity last year with the Pacers, and obviously right now with Coach Mata and Butler. I'm thrilled for him. We try to create an opportunity for him to have options, I think, which we all do for our children. He was a finance major, he was a double major, finance, political science. He thought about law school. He was academic All Big Ten 5 times. I mean, I didn't do anything other than present him the opportunity to be involved in basketball, and he just fell in love with it. So I'm really proud of him, carving his own path, wanting to go away from Iowa to learn from Coach Carlisle last year. It was an amazing opportunity. Coach Moreland, Coach Pierce. So as far as Patrick, it's a little bit different. He was at Iowa for 5 years, graduated from Iowa, and so wanted to try something else. So happy for him. And will he go into coaching? I don't know. Probably try to continue to play if he can. So we'll see where that goes. But just very proud of both of them. Thank you.
It's the 25-year anniversary of Tom Izzo's national championship. Has won one since. Matt, obviously, last year was the last one. Is there anything that can be said about things over 25 years now?
I don't think so, other than we have a lot of really good programs. It's indicative of what the state of college basketball is. It's really hard to win 6 games, sometimes 7 in the first 4. So we've been close. We'll continue to be close. We'll win one. We might win a couple in a row. But I still believe it's the best conference in college basketball.
All this noise, it's like.
Coach, on the subject of the national tournament, I wanted to ask. Last year was unfortunately Iowa's first season in about 4 or 5 regular seasons where they weren't in the tournament that's known as like March Madness. What do you think is something you are having the team do maybe different this year to just be more competitive in the conference overall?
Yeah, I think we certainly were competitive in the conference. A lot of times the conference record would get you in. I thought we stumbled a little bit in the non-conference last year. You have to do better there. And we probably missed by 1 game. So we're not going to do dramatic changes.
What have your impressions been of Seydou now that you've gotten a little bit more time to work with him?
He's been really good. Seydou is a very talented player. We're excited to have him in the program. He's versatile. He's really skilled in a lot of ways. Great feel for how to play. So I'm excited about it.
You talked about Drew Felwell. What have you seen out of him now that you're in the full practice? How he runs the team?
Drew is a tremendous young man, very mature, obviously a veteran guy. We really appreciate what he brings to the table as a leader. Feel really good about that position with he and Brock Harding, who's played extremely well, not only last year but through the summer and into the fall. So we feel really good about that position right now.
Do you feel like will they play together at all, or do you feel like
they definitely could? We've got plenty of options there. How we swing, Peyton and Price, Josh Dix, obviously pretty well ingrained in 2, one of the best players in the league. So we've got some depth back there, but that's what I like about Drew as well. There's just some versatility there.
What's been the biggest step Brock's taken?
Biggest step for what?
For Brock, what's the biggest step he's taken?
Well, I think for Brock, he always was a really good player, but just getting his freshman year under his belt and knowing what he has to do to make an even bigger impact. He made a huge impact last year, as we saw. He's shooting the ball extremely well right now, which is something he really worked on. He changed his shot slightly, nothing major, but he did. And so he's shooting and making more threes. He's still driving and creating. He's stronger physically. So defensively, he's better as well. And I've just been really impressed with his competitiveness.
You put
I've always been.
my apologies. You put Carter on scholarship. What? Just can you explain that decision? What it was like to tell him?
That was an easy decision. Carter is an incredible teammate. He's continues to get better. He was always a good player when we recruited him as a preferred walk-on. And he can shoot the ball. He can play multiple positions. He's really smart. He understands defense and what we're trying to do offensively. And I feel very comfortable putting him in the game.
Coach, earlier during your panel, you talked about some of the ways that college basketball is kind of changing around these different teams. You've got 4 additions from the Pac-12 into the Big Ten now. You talked about the portal and transfers a little bit. Through all this, what do you think your program is keeping consistent to ensure success going forward?
Well, I think that's the very point you made. We're trying to stay consistent. We're trying to recruit players and keep them in the program if you can. It's often hard now that everybody's a free agent. It's hard for everybody. But we were very fortunate to keep what you would consider to be our top 3 guys. Our sophomore class, really a talented group. Brock, Lodgy, Price. So there's 6 core guys. We had 2 freshmen coming in that we're really excited about. Cooper Koch, Chris Taggio. Signed 2 guys out of the portal. Then we also have Carter, Evan, and Riley. Very capable. So it's probably as deep a team as we've had since I've been here.
Beth Getz had mentioned that there was some stuff in works to bring a few more students closer to the court at Carver this season. What are your kind of thoughts on that?
I'm going to support Beth in whatever decision she wants. I'd love to have the students closer to the floor. We have people that have been sitting there for a long time. To be respectful of them and appreciative of them for continuing to buy season tickets down close to the floor. So I'll support whatever we decide.
Is it any harder to win for your program now than 5-10 years ago?
I think that's a very interesting question because it's always hard to win. It's always been hard to win in this league. Anytime you factor in money, that can change things. But it was hard before and it's hard now.
What are hard things about now, and what are things that really work for you right now?
Well, I think what works for us is culture. Players that we have want to be here. They love each other. They love the University of Iowa. And we've got to make sure that we maintain that. What makes it hard is what we would have referred to as tampering before. I don't know if there's any such thing anymore, because everybody's a free agent. So constantly dealing with what your roster is going to look like, especially after the season, because that's when everything changes. So just making sure you get your roster. Once you get your roster situated, nothing's changed after that.
Does this sour you at all?
Does it sour me?
Not necessarily sour, maybe too strong a word, but has it changed the way you view your job and the way you view the sport?
I think that's a very fair question, but I would say that in the time that I've been in this business, we've had a number of changes that we've had to adjust to, whether they be NCAA rules or anything regarding the landscape of college athletics. So, I just adjust. I still love my job. I still love the profession. I still respect the profession. I love going to work every day and working with young people and trying to put a team together that can be successful in a very difficult environment. That's what I'm going to continue to do.
And along those lines, you're one of the few coaches who got a general manager title on your staff.